So hello again, everyone. Thanks for joining to another session from Microsoft Learning Room Azure Zero to Hero. So happy to be here again today with you all. Thanks for registering to this session as well from this session from our February sessions. And we are so happy that we have Ali together with us, and he's going to talk about OpenAI function calling and talking about different AI perspectives. And you can scan the QR code if you want to join to Azure Zero to Hero social channels and follow up the news. In the next slide, we'll be talking a little bit about Microsoft Learn and learning rooms in general. And then we'll be follow up and talking a little bit about the code of conduct of the session. And then I'll hand over the stage to Ali. Say it if we can go to next
I
slide.
think the slide is freezed, right? You have only first slide right now.
Oh,
All
I
right,
see
it's
Microsoft.
freezed.
I see Microsoft Learn from my side.
Oh, I see just the first slide now.
Okay, let me reshare it just a second.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone. And you should see it now.
Yes, now it's working. Great. So yes, let's kick off talking a little bit about Microsoft Learn. So in every session, we try to share like how Microsoft Learn can help you while you are looking for some information about the technology from Microsoft Cloud Services, especially nowadays, and AI also with Microsoft as a leader in the market with the AI services. So you can find everything about updates, customized learning paths, trainings, free exam practices that you can do if you are in the phase of preparing for an exam. And in general, we always share like Microsoft Learn is the richest place ever that you can find content and information about Microsoft's products. Within Microsoft Learn Tech community, we have learning rooms, which we gather all together professionals and learners from different backgrounds, and we just try to connect, ask questions, share. It's like kind of open community. Everyone can come and talk about their experiences, share their knowledge, and we would love to host. We would love to talk each other and answering questions, or we also love to ask questions. So you can follow the short links in here to join to the learning rooms if you are not, and also you can also check the Microsoft Learn community from those links. We also have a code of conduct from Microsoft Learn that we are following for each session. So being aware of each other, friendly and patient during the session, and being welcoming and respectful to each other, and opening to all viewpoints and differences. Thanks for joining again. I'm not gonna take much time, and stage is yours, Ali.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, my name is Ali. I'm a cloud solution architect, and today I will be going through OpenAI function calling. I haven't made too many slides, but it's going to be a live coding session, and I have then shared my repository afterwards. So I don't know. I just want to see like if anyone asks any questions, how can I see? Can I see that in the chat or in the Q&A tab, or if anyone can just say hello? I know. I
Yes,
hope everyone is
chat is
okay.
open. We
I just
can
want to
also
see. Can
enable
anyone?
the
Don't be shy.
microphone.
Can anyone just write something in the chat? I just want to make sure that I can see what if people write something. Hello. Okay. So thank you so much for joining, everyone. So let me share my screen. So again, I usually when I do sessions, whether it's in person, hello everyone. I like it to be interactive. So if anyone have any questions, then feel free to just ask in the chat. So the problem that I want to solve today, and also to inspire you to maybe if you have the same problem and you want to solve it, I want to inspire you so you can do the same thing, is a way to add live data into my AI conversation. So when I say live data, it means that, okay, I want to know what is the time right now, or I want to know what is the weather right now. And this kind of course, this kind of knowledge is not usually something you just have available out of the box when you chat with ChatGPT. But I wanted to be able to answer live questions. Currently, I won't talk about specific customers, but I help customers currently on AI and how to build their own co-pilots. So co-pilot it stands for basically like you are the pilot, and the co-pilot will help you to achieve some things in your solution. And now we have different co-pilots in all our Microsoft products. And this will usually be a small assistant that can help you to achieve your goals, whether it's a summary, write an email, or create a PowerPoint presentation. It's just to give you a small first impression of what is actually a co-pilot. And then I will show you how I can build my own co-pilot and then use something called OpenAI function calling. So just to for those people who have not tried it yet, if I just have a new PowerPoint presentation here, I don't know if it's available for everyone, but here up on the right side, I have a small Copilot button here. And this Copilot in the PowerPoint can help me to create my initial PowerPoint presentation. So this could be that if I have to make, I don't know, chocolate cake presentation, then this could help me. So this is beyond just chatting and getting a chat message back. So you want to actually the co-pilot to accomplish something in my program. So let me just show you this quickly. So you can say create a presentation about how to make chocolate cake. So this, if it's just a ChatGPT window, then usually you will just get a message back, answer back. But of course, in this case, I wanted to do something in my program. So like creating PowerPoint slides, adding some images, adding some titles, adding some content. So I don't have to find that in another web page. So this one gives me a first welcoming slide. Welcome to our chocolate cake tutorial, etc., etc. Now it gives me ingredients if I want to prepare it. So it gives me a starting point. So maybe I should have spent, I don't know, 10 or 20 minutes to gather this presentation, but now I saved some time. So again, the purpose of the co-pilot is an intelligent helper to help you achieve your goal. And in this PowerPoint, my goal was to create a chocolate cake presentation. So just to tell you. So now the next challenge is I want to create a co-pilot in my own solution. And currently I'm working with the financial services customers where they want the AI to give them the best suggestion on how to invest their holdings and which shares to buy. And of course, you can have an AI to help you to achieve that also. And this is one of the co-pilots I'm currently working on. So going from a natural conversation here to executing something else in the application, how would you do that? I don't know, any suggestions on this? Like how would you go from a conversation to show some pictures? I know this is an abstract question, but is there any ideas how you would achieve that? Like going from a natural, like from a normal conversation to executing something natively in your application. I don't know if you have any ideas how to achieve that. Anyone have any ideas? So the problem or the problem that I'm trying to solve here is that from me speaking to in a natural language fashion to the AI, I wanted to do something natively in my application, right? And I think this can be useful because then you can achieve things faster. So one way to do that is by using this function calling, as we call it. So my goal now is to create a weather app. And if I go into the normal ChatGPT here, I can ask it, how is the weather right now in Berlin? It will probably tell me that I don't have any up-to-date information because I'm trained in 2022 or 21. So it says, I'm sorry, I can't provide real-time information such as current weather. However, it will tell you how to get it if I use another website or anything. So my problem here is that the chat session cannot ask any live APIs or get the current weather. But I want to create a Copilot app, and let's call it Copilot Weather app, that should be intelligent enough to actually call the right API, give me the weather, and in a natural language fashion. So this could also be give me my account balance, or what is the next shares I should invest my money in. So that's what I want to achieve, not just have statically historical data, right? So before now there's a lot of different, there's a lot of different SDKs, community plugins, different orchestrators on how you should use OpenAI. But in the end, it's just the API request. Whether you do it with Python, JavaScript, .NET, it's just an API request, and that's just going to give you an answer. Before all of these orchestrators, when I started using OpenAI, then I actually used to write in my prompt that if the user asks for the weather, then return the answer in JSON. Because if I return the answer in JSON, then that means I can serialize it to my application, and then I can call another API. So I used to do this manually, but I had this idea, and now the models itself, like the OpenAI GPT-3.5 and 4, are now fine-tuned to detect functions. So a function is basically that when you start the conversation, then part of the payload, you would write that the user potentially might have interest in getting the weather. And this and then one required parameter will be the location. So for me to achieve this, then I have to program my application, my Copilot app, in a way that I can just talk with it in a natural way. But once the AI, the text that I actually need wants the weather, then it needs to understand that it needs to call the weather API. So I will show you how to achieve this. Any questions so far? Then feel free to ask. So I have here, first of all, an REST API, as we call it. And this REST API is OpenAI. It doesn't require any API keys, so even you can use it afterwards. But it requires two parameters. One parameter is latitude, and another parameter is longitude. And for me, when I talk to the AI, of course, I don't know what is this latitude, what is longitude, and in this output again, you see here, it's maybe not human readable. It gives you, maybe if I start reading line by line, I can understand, okay, it says 2024, it gives me some weather, but I don't know what is location because I don't know what latitude, longitude. But I want the AI to explain, first of all, understand what is the location that I want the weather from, and then I want that when it gives me the result, then it's again translated to me so I understand what is the weather. And this output could also be, again, I don't know, share, price about shares, pricing about shares, and it could be your stocks and your holdings, or it could be, I don't know, your medical record, so it could be anything, right? But then I want it to be in like a part of the natural conversation. So with the fine-tuned models, there's no slides. It's just I'm gonna go directly into the code and I'm gonna share a repository. So I'm sorry, I don't have any slides for this. But what I want is to make an application that can then call this API and return to me the language, the answer for the weather. So in order to do this, then of course you need to deploy an AI resource, which is OpenAI in this case, and I have deployed the GPT-4 model that I can make API requests against. So this AI Studio is just the UI, right? So if I want to start coding my application, then I need to make real API calls. And in this case, I have used .NET. You can use any language you want. But I'm going to say view code here, then it's going to give me a couple of different snippets in Python and C#, and then it's going to give me the credential and the URL. So I have created something that we would call a console application. I don't know if the resolution is, can you read the text on my screen? But I have created something called the console application. Yeah. Any question? Yeah, Saeed, you have a question? Okay.
No, just wanted to confirm the screen is okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. That's great. So for me to be able to call this function, then I need to explain the AI what is the potential parameters that is required to call this API, and then also need to explain what is the purpose of this skill. So if I go into, as an example, I go into the weather plugin here, then I have described here, get the weather forecast of a given location. Location is mandatory, so don't guess this. If user expresses it's too cold, you can ask for a location. So I basically describe what is the purpose of this skill. And then usually I would say that if you have an AI solution, then the different skills is what makes up the AI solution. And so one skill is weather plugin amongst the other plugins that I have. So the description here of the parameter and the purpose of this skill and this of this function is basically part of the payload. So that means when I make the OpenAI request, then somewhere in the API request, it's going to say that the person might be interested in weather, and for me to get the weather, I need to have the location per definition, right? So when I have defined this, and I'm not going to go to the technical details with the code because I have put it on GitHub, so you can just clone it afterwards. Then I have one method which I'll call process async. So process is actually when I got the correct parameter out of the conversation, then I actually gonna execute this weather API. And then I'm going to summarize the JSON weather into the conversation, back to the conversation. I don't know if that makes sense, or feel free to ask me. So let me first of all, this is again a console application. The console means that there's no UI and it's not a front and back end. It's just a console application. So I write something and it gives me something back. So let me first of all let me try to disable the plugins. And feel free to let me know if there's any questions. So now I just want to chat with it and I want to ask it for the weather. And this is without that it knows anything about the weather. Let's see what it says. So if I run it here, feel free to ask me again if there's any questions or anything. So now I have said plugins are disabled and it runs on GPT-4. So I can say how I can run. Oh, sorry. How are you? So I just say, how are you? Let's see what it says. It says, as an AI, I might have feelings, etc., etc. How can I help you today? So this will be the same answer you usually get in an OpenAI in a chat GPT window, right? And I can say, I'm cold. Let's see what it says. So I'm cold. I'm not asking for the weather, but this could be, I mean, I'm cold because the weather is cold, right? So why am I cold? So it says, I'm sorry to hear that. Here are a few suggestions how to warm you up. So it doesn't really know what is my interest. It doesn't know that I might be interested in the weather, or I might be interested in investing in shares, or it doesn't know what is my profile. It doesn't know what is my interest, right? And then I can say, I don't, but can you tell me the weather in Copenhagen? Let's see what it says. So right now, everything, like, I have a conversation now, but it doesn't know how to connect to that API, that REST API that I just showed you. It says, I don't have real-time capabilities. So, but I thought that you were intelligent. So it's going to tell me that to get the current weather, you need to go to a website, etc. So it tried to give me another type of solution. So I don't have time for that, right? But I want the AI to be able to connect to my API. And one of the required parameters, again, is again the location, right? So let me try now. So now let me try to turn on the plugins. So the plugins is going to cost you a number of characters because part of the payload, it will say this person might be interested in weather and might be interested in a couple of other things. So I want to enhance my solution to be able to call live APIs or live SDK in my application. Now is it true? Now let me try to run it again. So I can say here, I am cold. Let's see if it's sophisticated enough to get the weather. And now it says it sounds like you might feeling the chill. And then it says if you are interested in the current weather conditions, I can check that for you. Can you please provide me your location? So you see now it wants to help me to get the weather. So this could also be that, okay, I have, I don't know, $100,000. What should I invest it in? On which share should I invest? So if I've set the parameters, I have the live Reuters API or whatever API that gives the live shares, then this AI could also be built in a way that can explain to you, okay, you should invest in this and this and this share because of, I don't know, whatever reason there is. But now it says that you need to provide the location. So if I just set a breakpoint in my code, in my weather plugin, then let's see what's going to happen actually. And then I can say, could you please for application? I say Copenhagen. And now let's see what it does. So it says, so the prompt it says in the request I have one required parameter, Copenhagen. But now the next problem is my API, as you remember, needs to have longitude, latitude. But me as a user, I don't know what is longitude, latitude. I have no clue about that. And this is just a number here, right? Two numbers. One is latitude, one is longitude. So I want the AI also to translate the location first into latitude, longitude, then pass that on as a parameter to the AI, to the REST API. And then I wanted to summarize what was the weather, because this output, I don't understand this output as user. I want to have something that explains to me what is the weather, not just a JSON output, right? And so for this purpose, I have made a small method. So like if you imagine that you have the whole ChatGPT session, of course, the more context or the more character there is in the session, the more expensive it's going to be. And sometimes when you have small problems that you want to solve, then I like to go to GPT-3.5. And then when I have something more complex, I like to go back to GPT-4. This is a very little more sophisticated algorithm, because this means that for more easier problems, use GPT-3.5. For more complicated problems, use GPT-4. And then in this case, I just, first of all, I want to convert Copenhagen into longitude, latitude. That's why I have made this small method here. And this is another context. So when I say another context, it means it doesn't know about the previous messages. So here I just use GPT-3.5, and the basic prompt is summarize this, but in this case, I just say, I will just say that convert the location to longitude, latitude. So if I continue in here, you see it's going to come in here, and now the prompt will say something else. It says, what is the longitude, latitude for Copenhagen? So from the conversation, I take out Copenhagen, and then I make a new prompt with GPT-3.5, and I says, what is the longitude, latitude? Why I use GPT-3.5 is because it's very cheap. It's a very simple problem, and it's going to answer me quick. So that's why I use GPT-3.5 only in this little case. Does it make sense? Or any questions about me to ask me? So I get the answer back, and now I use regular expression to extract longitude, latitude from the answer, because the response here, it says Copenhagen is latitude and longitude, but these two, it gives me these two parameters. But instead of using another GPT to extract the information, I just use regular expression. And this is sometimes when I talk with the customers, they say, should we just use GPT-4 or GPT to solve all the problems? I would say no. If something you can use, if you can solve it programmatically, in this case, just for me to take out two numbers out of a text string, then just use regular expression. You don't need to use another GPT request just to take these two parameters out, because it just doesn't make sense. It's too expensive to do that. So now if I continue doing this, then let's see what it does. It matches two parameters because it found the two longitude latitude. It's going to put it into the two parameters here. And finally, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call the same API. But remember, the output of the API is JSON. So the person will not understand this, right? So I need to use another GPT 3.5 request just to summarize it. And again, I don't need GPT-4 because summarization is very easy. So why use GPT-4? Just use GPT 3.5 in that. So I go here. I get the summary here, and then again, it says next, this prompt is again, it doesn't have any previous context. It just only that says summarize the weather, location, Copenhagen, and then the JSON output, because I want it to be understandable for the user. So I continue here, and now let's see. So you see now I don't get the JSON output. I just get the answer back in the natural language, right? And I think this pretty. So this means now this AI is now a weather co-pilot. So it can gather. So from the location, it can give me the weather and explain it back to me. I can also say, how is weather in Riyadh? Let's try that. Then it's going to do all of this orchestration again. It's going to detect the method. So I can either say, ask the weather directly, or I can say I'm cold or I'm hot, and then it tries to get me to get the parameters. It says current weather in Riyadh is 12. I don't know if it's true, but it's from the API. So I also have another plugin, which is doctor plugin. The doctor plugin is to make a medical record. Usually when you go to the doctor, what is the first thing you have to do? You have to say, what is your name? What is your identity? Then you have to explain what is your sickness, and do you have any current medications? So this kind of consultation is usually not by the doctor, but another person that is just a receptionist, right? But imagine if you have an AI that can do intermediate consultation, gather all the right information. So when the person goes into the doctor, the doctor already have all the information, so they don't have to waste the time. So for that purpose, I also made a doctor plugin. So is it true? I mentioned the hard Riyadh. I don't know if it's true. Is it? So my colleague Ahmed, he lives there, so I don't know. He can tell me if it's true. But let's see. So I have another doctor plugin here, and the doctor plugin have another purpose, right? This one says you consult patient if they're sick, gather the information for a medical record. So instead of a person gathering all the medical record, I want the AI to get it, and then maybe in the end call an API request so that when the person goes into the doctor, then there's already medical record. So as an example here, I can say so I asked here, full name of the patient, date of the birth, list of current medication, description of the current sickness. So this will also be part of the payload. So I can say here, I don't feel well. Let's see what it does. So you see now, it knows what is the mandatory fields. So I think in healthcare, this kind of semantic understanding and AI can actually also help us. So it says, I'm sorry to hear that you're not feeling well. To better assist you, could you please provide me information and specifically your name, etc. So I can say Ali. Then I can give my. So I don't give all the information, but let's see if it continues or what it does. I don't know. I just give my name and my birthday. Oh, sorry. It says, it seems like you provided partial dates, birth, and first name. So it actually knows that my information for the medical record is not complete yet. And this is super cool, right? Because then if you want to register patients or you want to do some kind of research, then you can have mandatory fields or mandatory information that you need to get from the patient, and in order to execute the next medical record API. So I can say here, full name is Ali Farahnak, and then I can say I don't take any medication. But I didn't still say what is wrong or what is my sickness. This is full name and procedure medical. I still need your complete birthday. So I can say 6. I have fever. So let's see. So you see now, when I make it in another color, is because it detected that now this is the function. So this could be my medical record API. So I said that once you reach that code block here in the process async, then here I could potentially call the other native API, another native code that could then create a PDF or whatever medical record is needed. So in here it says patient name, date of birth, current medications, and current sickness. So fever, right? This is potential cure. It gives me potential cure. And then it says, thank you for using the automated medical record platform. Have a nice day. So this could be to help the doctor, the clinic to get people through faster so we can do, I don't know, be more efficient, right? Does it make sense? For me to ask me if any questions. So I have done another thing also. I work with a lot of let's say enterprise customers that have very big ecosystems. So let's say you have an organization that have 800 repositories. So 800 repositories of code, and you don't know which ones are failing, which ones are succeeding. But in the morning when I wake up as a, I don't know, head of, I don't know, development management, whatever management position I am, I want to, when I drink my coffee, I want to know which application instances are failing and which deployments are failing, because I don't have time to go through 800 GitHub projects, right? So I could also make an AI that just talks with my GitHub organization. So I can say here, how is my builds? How is my builds? It says to check the status of the build, I need to name of the repository. And now pay attention. Now I will close all windows, but pay attention. Natively, I'm going to open up that web page, that have my build. Okay, this is quite cool because I'm not going to do it myself. The program is going to do it for me, hopefully, if it works. So I can say the name of my repository is automation. Let's see what it's going to do. And now you see it opens the website and it points me to the pipelines where I have my builds. It says the build status for the infrastructure organization has failure each time. I can say, what is the name of the user? So it says, by this user, so this is my GitHub username. So the cool thing is that imagine if I have 800, 900 applications and I don't have time to dig into each, but I need to assign a bug ticket or some ticket to the person that made that failing build. Then I can use the AI to talk with them. And this is another skill that I built into this AI. So now I can say, can you please build it again? So now let's see what is it going to do. Oh, so when you'll see here now, it builds the new the pipeline. I didn't touch it. I didn't do anything, right? So it was just by natural language. I said build the application again. So the cool thing is that I'm talking with my live REST API on GitHub and having a conversation with my builds. So this is not historical data from 2021. This is live. It's happening right now this week, right? So I don't know. I think it's cool because this way you can have live. So if you build this kind of semantic kernel or semantic understanding in the conversation, then you can actually talk with live APIs and achieve things on the run, not like something historical or chat with your own data, which is the RAG pattern. Does it make sense? Any questions? I can also say generate image of flying hippos in Copenhagen. So this is another skill that I built. No, that's not the one. I have another one which I will. This application that I built, I've posted here. This one, this repository is the one that I'm just working on. But I'm saying here, generate an image of flying hippos in Copenhagen, and then it open it up. So this looks like Copenhagen. I don't know. For people who know Copenhagen, we have a lot of canals. So this is pretty cool, right? Out from the natural conversation, executing something natively. And this is now available with OpenAI Function. So you can define the purpose of the function, and that way you can achieve these native purposes, the live purposes here. I don't know, does it make sense? Feel free to ask, because again, the purpose is here is also to people to understand how this works, so they can do it on their own. Any questions? So you should also, I mean, now I have a lot of plugins in this code, in this application, but I would also say be a little bit careful, because if you have too many plugins, it's also going to bring a little bit of confusion to the AI, because then all of it's going to be part of the prompt, right, of the AI conversation. Yes, Said?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that maybe people missed the chat, but we open a challenge for people. So if anyone asks a good questions from Ali Reza, they will win a voucher for Microsoft Fundamental Exam with 50% of discount. So please ask your question from Ali Reza, and you will win a Fundamental Exam voucher.
And then I have another API, which is get the news, because usually the news, it needs to be up to date, right? And here I said, to get the news, you need to get a specific topic. And then finally, I'm executing the Bing API for news. So this could also be like, if I want to build a financial services AI bot, then I want to connect to financial services, right? So I can say here, I can write here, give me the latest news. And then the mandatory parameter is to have a topic. So it says, I need to know the specific topic or category. Could you please tell me what the type of news you would like to hear? I can say finance and stocks. I actually don't know if it's going to summarize. Okay, it's going to give me JSON. Okay. But anyway, so it's going to give me JSON links to all of the news. But this could again be summarized, and then get the content out of it, and to tell me, okay, what is the next stock I need to invest in. So do you see, this is not understandable. So I need to convert that back again. I can actually do that. Let me do that right away, just to show you. So now it gives me the content string here. Let me see, give it content string. Just going to serialize it back. Yeah, I can also just say, I guess, content string. So, okay, I'll just write some quick code here. So I can say, summarize the news. So now I'll just fix this code as we speak, just to give an impression here. So now I will summarize the news. So let me try it again. So now I'm not just going to return the string or JSON, but now I'm going to return the summary of it. I don't know if it states anything about the news, but I can say, give me the news. So I'll try again. Take what summary, I can say finance and stocks. I don't know what it will do. Let's see. The news contains multiple topics featuring various topics, finding topics included, analyst opinions, and blah, blah, blah. Large, small cap. Okay, it's really generic, but then you could then traverse the links again and get more information. So if I'm interested in Tesla stocks, then I can traverse Tesla or traverse another stocks, right? So this way you can enhance your solution with AI, like not just chat with your own data, not just chat with historical data, but you can actually semantically make the prompts using the OpenAI function calling. So you define the parameters, so you can actually execute something in your application to achieve something on the behalf of the user. Then a lot of customers are asking me, okay, is this secure? And I would say you should also be careful that you do not make a backdoor into your solution. So you don't want to make a finance, I don't know, co-pilot that then those transactions just based on conversation. You would need to have a confirmation. So if I want to put money from my account to my friend's account, yes, I can do it by natural language. But then at the end of the conversation, before executing the method, I would need to confirm that, okay, do you, Ali, do you want to confirm you are putting $100 from your account to this person's account? Then I can say yes, then I can continue. So I would say you need to have some kind of manual intervention coded into the application, because else you can easily make a backdoor. So like just by conversation, you can do everything, right? And this will be a little bit careful. It's a little bit careful with that. So does your plugin predict the future stocks? Yeah. So we are actually building this for a customer. Yes. So it's gonna, yeah, a little bit more mathematical operations, but it's gonna try to suggest what you should buy based on news, based on current stocks, and how the market is changing. Then it can give you a suggestion. Yes. It's a little bit bigger, you know, AI solution than this, but yes, you can do that. So I don't know, any other questions? Then I have the avatar service also that I'm going to demonstrate. I don't know if I'm running over time. I guess I'm going to use a few more minutes. So imagine this could also just be an AI that you talk with, right? So in Microsoft Denmark, when you arrive to the office as an external, I don't know if you want to attend the event, you need to register your license plate and your name, company name, etc., etc. So this could also just be an AI by conversation, right? So first I'm going to show you that, and then finally I'm going to show you the avatar service. If you want to have this usable content for my internal organizational purposes, but calling the emails, yes, the proposal risk. So you're going to build an API that's going to do these kind of things, right? So the person having access to the APIs, you should treat it in a least privileged way. So you should not, by conversation, be able to do more that you're intended to. So if I'm just an employee, then maybe I have a set of APIs or a set of operations I can do. So just by speaking with the AI, I should only be limited to those operations, not more not operations that I'm not allowed to. Can you guide me? I don't know. Does that answer the question? That's why, yes, you should be very, very, very function calling data. Call any type of data you have added already. No, so I have no knowledge base. This is not, so chatting with your own data, the right pattern, all of that is static data. That's just boring. Everyone have showed that already. So I don't want, so this is another thing. This is about chatting with your live APIs, with your live information. So here I have another one. Actually, let me just share my screen again just to make sure we have the audio.
Sure, feel free to share your screen and I'll assist you with the audio.
Can you please let me into the event?
Of course, I just need to register some details. What's your name, company, job role, and do you love coffee? Also, I'll need your license plate number.
My name is Ali. I work for Microsoft. I don't have time for this, so just please let me in. Let's see.
I'm sorry, but I need to follow the registration process for everyone attending the event. It will only take a moment.
Okay, so my role is architect, and why do you need to know if I love coffee?
It's just a fun requirement we have for the event.
Okay.
Now, could you please provide your license plate number?
Yes, it's ABC 1234.
Great, thank you. You're all set. Enjoy the event.
But it seems like you forgot the JSON output. Okay, thank you so much. So how can I use this in my automation? Are you there?
Name, Ali. Company, away from Microsoft.
Okay, wait for
Job
me.
underscore role, architect. License underscore plate, ABC 1234. Time, February 3rd, 2024, 6:14 and 54 seconds p.m.
So does this mean that I don't need to have any receptionist in the office anymore? No. Can you still hear me? So anyway, this is GPT 3.5, so it might be a little bit, but so the purpose is here is that it is a receptionist, right, that can do the registration without having to do it just by natural language. So the same AI plugins and understanding could just be in this one, and then the next step would then be that you can have it in the avatar also. So I will show the avatar also as the last thing, and then I'll share the repository and then call it the session. So the avatar here, it's quite new, so it's I don't know if it's production ready, but we have a lot of customers already working on it. So let me just try here. Let me just give me 1 second. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. But my humor might fall on deaf ears.
Okay, so you are quite funny.
I'm glad someone finally appreciates my humor. Unlike my ex-boyfriend.
Okay, can you give me 5 jokes about the cloud?
Why did the cloud break up with their partner? They needed some space. What do you call a cloud who takes up all the room? An air hog. Why did the cloud go to therapy? It had too many emotional rainstorms. How does a cloud find dates? It uses the sky dating app. What do you call a nervous cloud? A little misty.
Okay, so can you give me some serious suggestions on how we can use artificial intelligence in our financial services solutions?
AI can automate customer service, detect fraud, and analyze data for personalized financial advice.
Okay, you can also build a co-pilot that can help me to manage my finances.
Sure, just give me access to your bank account and I'll show you some real magic.
No, I don't want to do that. So have a great day.
You too. Just remember, I'm always here to help, especially with those finances.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Just remember, I'm here for all your financial consultation needs.
Okay, anyway, it's a little bit too funny, but so the same plugins and the understanding could also be just coded into this avatar, right? Yeah, I don't know. Any questions, anything? So function will call any type of data you have added. Was my question answered, Bushra? I don't know. So the plugin definition or the skill sets that I have in my application will be part of the prompt, basically. If you go here to the function calling, so part of the API, then you actually give it in. If we give it in as part of the API, that says potentially that could be a get current weather function, and then the required parameters. So this is the information we give the AI basically. I don't know if there's any questions, anything. Feel free to let me know. So the repository I have made is here, and just to give you the structure of the solution. So it isn't .NET, but again, you don't have to do it in .NET. In the end, as I said again, it's just the language. So if you want to do it in Python, JavaScript, whatever you want to do it, is really up to you. In the end, it's just a REST API request. So I have here 3 classes. One is the kernel, where I have the conversation. So this is just a thread that then answers and then replies. The user writes something and then replies. That's it. So I have then I'm managing the session, the chat session here in the console, because the chat GPT API is a stateless API, so it doesn't hold the previous messages. You have to send the whole conversation each time. And of course, the bigger the conversation is, the more token it's going to cost. So that's why I had made a small utils class, And this utils class, I have just made a method that it's called quick prompt. And this quick prompt is just if you have one message, you want to solve one simple problem, then you just use this one. You don't have to send the whole conversation. So as an example, if I, in the middle of conversation, have to convert Copenhagen to longitude, latitude, then I just have one little AI request to do that. I don't need to send the whole conversation because it's too expensive to do that. Do we need to train models, or is this? You don't need to train any models. This is the cool thing, is that this OpenAI function is already fine-tuned. So fine-tuned means that the base model is either GPT-3.5 or GPT-4, but on top of it, there's a layer of fine-tuning that will help you to detect the functions. So you don't need to train anything, basically. You just give it what is your purpose, and then it will help you to detect it. How accurate is the responses? I would say for GPT-4, it's quite good. It's very good. GPT-3.5 sometimes is missing some parameters. That's why that I use GPT-3.5 only to do summarization or converting position to longitude, latitude, only for small problems. When I have a more sophisticated problem, I use GPT-4. Can we get GPT to start and lead the dialogue? So I think you need to have Azure. If you want to do everything on Microsoft Cloud, you need to have Azure subscription, right? I can show you maybe quickly how you can create that. So if I want to create an AI resource or some kind of instance, then I can go to the portal. Everything that I do from this portal, I can also do by automation. So when I mean automation, it can be by a template or by a CLI script. So there's many ways to create resources on Azure. And I'm not going to go to fundamentals on Azure right now, but I'm just going to show you very quickly. So as an example, you have what we call a resource group. A resource group is a container for all the resources you have on Azure. And usually you should have to do some kind of segmentation where you say one resource group is maybe test, one resource group is production, and then the resources in each resource group would then have different tiers because you might go more cheap when you go for test environment and more expensive when you go to production. But if you want to get started with the OpenAI, then you have to create an OpenAI resource. And this requires that you have an actual subscription. So some money needs to get deducted because every time you make an AI request, it's going to cost money. And that's why that in my orchestration, you see sometimes I use GPT-3.5, sometimes, GPT-3.5 or GPT-4. So if I have a cheap operation, it's a simple problem, I'm going to use the cheap AI. If I have a complex problem, I want to use the expensive AI because in the end, if you have 100,000 of requests, the customer will ask you why does it cost so much? So there's always a cost benefit you have to consider when you create these solutions. But to get started, you need to have this kind of subscription, as we call it. So all the money, all the usage will be from this from the subscription, basically. Any more questions? So I hope it made sense in the walkthrough. The Copilot app is here. You can run it. Another cool thing, actually, I just wanted to show you. If you use GitHub, I don't know. I think it needs to be turned on the tenant, but not the GitHub Copilot that helps you to code is one thing, but now there is also a chat to chat with your own repository. So this is very cool because if you have new people join the project and they need to understand the code, then you have this chat window where you can ask a question. So I can say here, which plugins does this solution have? So if I'm a new person that is hired in a company, I need to understand the repository. I can actually chat with it here. It says here, doctor plugin, news plugin, weather plugin. So it explains to me in a natural language what is the purpose of this application. And then maybe I can ask it and say, how does the weather app work? A weather functionality work. So if I'm new to the, always when I was a newly hired after my graduation, I had a lot of questions because I was just thrown into a big solution which I didn't understand how it works. But now when you have the chat possibility with your own repository, it's super cool because then you can ask it all the stupid questions, right? I mean, no questions are stupid, but if you feel like, okay, you're asking stupid questions, then you can use this one for it to explain. So it explains to me the different methods, different base classes. It says like standard base class. It's okay. Can you explain to me the purpose of the base plugin? So I can basically ask everything about this solution, and you can clone this solution, get started with it. The only thing you need to do is put in your own credentials, and then you can have start there. So it says absolutely the base plugin instead is iBase plugin interface, and it explains everything. So I can ask it anything, and I think this is super cool because this way you can onboard quickly to new projects. I mean, you have new hires in the company, they can chat with this. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so I don't know. I don't have much more to present. I don't know if anyone have any more questions. I also hope you got some insights, useful insights.
Perfect, Eddie. Thank you. That was amazing. Learned a lot from the session.
That's cool. Any questions? Anyone? Anything?
Anyone? Any more questions? We have a question from Ahmed. Can we have a beginner GitHub session?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you schedule that. I guess that would make totally sense. Like from our side, we are actually trying to we are investing heavily in GitHub, which is a development ecosystem. So you can use GitHub to build your solutions, deploy it, validate it. You can have in browser Visual Studio code, and you can actually code your applications. And now you can see we also have chat in your own repository. We have automatic pull requests, automatic documentation. If it's not already released, but it's going to be released very soon, I can tell you that. Can the AI be used to diagnose reports? You can. I don't know if it's released yet, but I know that we are working on something so you can actually measure the technical depth in the code also. But yeah, we can maybe schedule a GitHub session at some point of time. Okay, thank you so much. So I don't know, Said, do you have anything on your side?
Yeah, we just need to, because we promised in the chat that we are going to give one exam voucher, so everyone in this session might be interested in a AI fundamental exam. So we are gonna choose one question which in general might be a better question within the chats, and we are gonna share one exam voucher. So any opinions, Ali, Said, on the question? So we can.
I think we can leave the making decision by Ali because
Ali, go on.
So I should decide what is the most tough question, or what,
yes,
or the most,
or let's say best
challenging
one.
question.
Okay, guys, give me the most difficult question you have in the chat, then I can, because until now I think it was.
You can also choose from the previous ones you answered already. Yeah. It's also
Okay, let me see 2 questions. I think this one was a very good question from Javed Abbas. If I want to use this function call from internal organization when calling APIs with the token key post security. It's not. I think it's not a bad question. It's a good question because I mean, this function calling, you have to be very careful with it because, again, as I said, you want to be careful you don't make a backdoor into your organization. But I know this question is a little different, but I will just choose Javid for now. So he's the winner.
Amazing.
So congratulations.
That's perfect. Congratulations, Javid. I will be
Javid.
reaching out to you and sharing your voucher. So, and after passing your exam, mention us all in your socials. So we'll be happy.
Great. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank Amazing.
You. Take care.
Thank you all. Thanks for attending. Thank you, Ali. Have a nice day.
Thank you,
Cheers.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.